what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. So no one else can do like you do. That's why I'm spend my life with you. I wanna please you. I wanna share my world. Don't you understand?
Several days later.
What's crack-a-lacking, guys? Mind the craziness. But if you're new to my channel, welcome. But if you know what's good in the hood, my babies, I'm busy doing my hair as always because I was looking crazy. But as you all saw, I went to get my nails done and whatever. Not today, but I added like a snippet of it. This is how they're looking. But yeah, I just wanted to show you, and then I also just wanted to talk with you because a lot of people have been asking me about like the program that I was on and all of that. So I just thought I'll do my hair and talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend, because if you don't, what are you doing? And don't forget to turn the bell on like a ding dong. But wait, I will be back with you. Let me just go get some gel. Okay, I have everything now. But so yeah, like the main questions that I get asked was like, how did I get into the program? What was the process? Sorry, my other hair is like coming out into the part that I detangled already. Look at that craziness. But yeah, I got asked, how did I get into the program? What agency did I work with? How long was I on the program? How was I able to stay like that long and all of that? So we'll get right into it. Also, the products that I used in this video were the Uncle Funky's daughter called Stimulator, my Eco Styling Gel, and the Curls Blueberry and Minty Oil to lock in the moisture on my hair. And then I use this brush, but not really, and I use this grip to keep my hair up. So yeah. So with regards to getting onto the program or whatever, or actually let's go back. I decided to become a part of the au pair program when I was still in high school because my auntie was supposed to do it, and like I didn't know. I only found out like after I had made the decision to do it that she was supposed to do it. But because back in the day it wasn't as popular, she didn't end up going or something like that. Like, but her plans changed. That's the moral of the story. So the one day when we were in school, after school, we were sitting with our teacher and just talking to her before we got let out. And she was telling us about the program, and she was like selling it to us, you know, so that we would want to do it. And she's like, it's a good way for you to get out of the country and for you to like experience life outside of South Africa, and you'll just get to see more and do more and whatever. Which already I was sold on it because I knew that I always wanted to come back to America, because my family came here in 2014 on a holiday and I was 16 at the time, so I always knew that I wanted to come back. So then when she told us about it, we asked her. Look at that big difference. When she told us about it, we had asked her about the different agencies and all of that. So she told us about an agency called OVC, and I'll put the names of the companies and whatever in my description box. But yeah, she told us about OVC, and I had gotten an appointment with them and everything eventually, and like I got my process started, and I was like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna be out of the country, whatever. And I had high hopes, I had high expectations of it being a quick process. No, it is not a quick process. For some people, they end up leaving sooner than like planned, and other people, they have to wait and wait and wait. I was one of those people that had to wait. So when I went to do my interview at OBC, the lady that helped me, her name was Mariska. I'm sorry, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be saying her name, but her name was Mariska, and she had explained the whole program to me. She had told me like the joys of doing it and all of that. But then again, she sold it. You know, her job is to sell the program. There was a lot of things that I didn't know, like going into it, but I was just so excited and open to it that all of that didn't matter. So then, I was getting interview requests on my profile and everything once it was sorted. So the whole process is you have to have your driver's license, you have to have passed matric, you had to have a valid passport, you need to have plus minus 200 child care hours or childcare experience, and I had to do all of that. So I had prior experience with family members and family friends and going to work at creches and all of that, so I was good on all of that. So, and I used to help in children's church, so that was easy for me. Then I had to have personal references, outside references, and the references needed to be legit because they found the people to check if you really did work with them. And then yeah, I just kept on getting more and more experience, and it was a bonus that my auntie had a creche, so not just her like allowing me to be there, but she was a reference, and there was also another creche that was a reference, and then I had experience working with children at children's church and cousins and all of that. So anyway, I had to make sure that I had all that stuff with me before I went to just tell them, oh, I want to be a part of the program. And then they help you with the whole application, and they put your application up for you. You have to obviously pay a certain amount of money. I can't remember how much I paid, so please do not ask me that question. And I mean that in the nicest way possible because I really can't remember. Excuse me, I applied almost 5 years ago. So yeah. So anyway, I worked with them. Then once my profile was up, I started getting like interview requests, because you also need to submit a video of you speaking, and you're basically selling yourself. You're telling the host family why you're the perfect match for them, and you have to have photos, videos, everything of you with children, of you driving, everything, just so that they know that you're not lying. And then you have to also write like a letter to the host family, and then they put your profile, your profile up, and then families decide whether they wanna speak to you or not. Then you'll meet via Skype, or you'll do a Skype interview, and then from there the family decides whether they want to keep talking to you or whether they want to keep the options open. So with OBC, I was getting a lot of interview requests but no interviews. You get me? So families were viewing my profile 24/7, but I wasn't actually speaking to any family. And I know I look bold, sorry, because I just dyed my hair the other day. But yeah, so I was getting all these requests, and I was getting frustrated because I'm like, okay, I'm getting all these interview requests and people are viewing my profile. So you can see when they view it and when they stop viewing it. So they were viewing and then they would just stop viewing, and the agent was like, no, just be patient, it's a waiting game. Yes, they're viewing your profile, but that doesn't guarantee you that they'll go with you. They could also be speaking to other girls, so you can't just bank on them just saying, okay, then let's do an interview and you're gonna come tomorrow, you know. So I was like, okay, whatever. Then I eventually gave up, and then I was like, okay, whatever. Then I moved to Pretoria. So when I moved to Pretoria, like I was over the whole thing. I was like, maybe I'm not supposed to au pair. And I was just like, whatever, it is what it is. So I started working at Planet Fitness, and then I was still like getting interview requests and whatever, but I wasn't speaking to families. And then I was like, okay, this agency is junk. So let me find another agency. So one of my friends, Taylor Cotton, I know I'm name dropping, but anyway, she was with the agency that I eventually went with. Oh, keep in mind, I went through 3 agencies, but the one that worked for me was the last one. Because I went through cultural care, and for whatever reason, I couldn't find families with them, so I was like, okay, whatever. And then I went through YDP because my friend went through them, so I was like, I know a person that actually got a family through them and whatever, so it's fine. I'll go with them. I'll put my trust in them. So then I went with them. I left Durban. I went to Pretoria to live in Pretoria. I was there like for I think over a year. Because one day I just decided in church, okay, I want to move. I'm tired of this. Like nothing's happening here. I'm not getting a job. And I'm just not feeling it. So then I called my auntie that lives in Pretoria, and I was like, is it okay with you if I move there by you? I'll look for a job, blah, 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 you know, the whole shebang. So then she was like, yeah, just let me know when and ever, and just make sure that this is something that you really want to do. So I was like, okay, yeah. Then started working and whatever, and it just so happened just before I was gonna move back. So fast forward, I moved in the end of 2015. I started working at the beginning of 2016, I think, and then I was there until 2018. So yeah, just so then I went and whatever, started working. Then with YDP I started getting interviews, because they would tell you, okay, I think you should change this on your dear host family letter, and this will increase your chances of like getting interviews. So we think that you should do this, that. And then I was like, okay, and I did what they said I should do. So yeah, and then I started getting interviews. But also what I didn't like with them is that a whole lot of host families can see your profile, but you can't see who's viewing your profile, if that makes sense. So like once you start speaking to one host family, everybody else can still see your profile, but you can only see that one family's profile. So I was talking to a family in Atlanta, Georgia. There was only one child and whatever. So I was like, at the time I was like, okay, that's fine. This was in November of 2017. I was like, okay, that's fine. Spoke with her, and the child had special needs. On my profile, I said that I don't want to work with children with special needs because I was just scared. But then I was like, hey, God wouldn't put me in a situation that I can't handle. And I remember saying that to my mother and my grandparents. So then anyway, I spoke with her, and then we decided to match and go ahead with it. And then she was like, okay, my other au pair is leaving at the beginning of January or something like that. No, I'm lying. She was leaving at the beginning of February. So I had met her and everything once I got there. Because with the different agencies, they also send you to training school, which is in New York. But with my agency, because it was, I didn't get to go to training school. I just went straight to my family. So I met the au pair, and she told me everything. She helped me out so much. And I still appreciate her up until this day. So yeah, that's just a little backstory of mine. If it doesn't work out with you and the host family, then you can go into rematch, but that's all another story. So anyway, long story short, I flew to Atlanta by myself. Usually you fly in a big group. I flew by myself, and it was just like one of those things. I was like, oh well, at least I'm going, you know. So I literally only spent 2.5 months with my family in Garren. So yeah, that was a lot because everything just started moving so fast. And yeah, before you knew it, I needed to go and I had to start telling everybody. So my advice to people that want to become a part of the program, maybe done with the hair. I just need to add oil. My advice to people that want to become a part of the program is that get as much experience as you need to. Even if you get more experience than needed, that's better than having less. And then make sure that it's legit references. Also, make sure that you actually like children if you're gonna be doing this program, because it's not easy and it's not for everybody. It's not all rainbows and sunshine, and it's not all that they make it out to be, because they're like, you'll be traveling for free, you'll be doing this, you'll be doing that, and they make girls think that they're coming here on a holiday. And I didn't have that mindset, so thankfully I didn't have that mindset. But I know other girls that do have that mindset that, oh, they just come in here to live their best life. And at the end of the day, you still come in here to work, so you can't expect to be living your best life if you come in here to work. So if you want me to go into depth and detail about like how my visa interview was and whatever, just let me know. But I would encourage girls to go with bigger agencies like Cultural Care or Pay in America, because if anything were to go wrong and you were to go into rematch, you have 2 weeks to find a family, or else you need to go home. That's the sad reality, but it is what it is. Ignore that. It is what it is. Excuse me. So when choosing, pick wisely with the agency that you go with, and then also choose your family wisely, because I had 2 amazing families. Don't get it twisted, but not everybody gets to have that experience where they have good families and like you're both on the same page. And you'll need to remember, communication is key, and ask all of the questions that you need to ask. If you feel like something is important, ask it, even if it doesn't seem like, oh, it's that serious. Just ask questions, because then you'll know that all your cards are laid out on the table and you said what you needed to say, or you asked what you needed to ask, instead of waiting until you get here and then it's like, oh, but we didn't talk about that. Oh, you never say that. And you need to be very open-minded, because it's a give and take on both ends. The family is sacrificing bringing a stranger into their house to work with their children, not knowing if the person's crazy, not knowing if the person is really coming to do what they need to do, you know. So it's risky. And then it's also, families are sending their daughters and sons to come this side, not knowing whether they're going to be in good hands or not. So you need to keep that in mind, because as I said, not everybody has good experiences, and one bad experience will make you just want to up and leave and go home. And the whole point of you coming here was so that you could get the American experience, you know. So yeah, that's the advice that I have for everybody that wants to do it. As I said, go with the bigger agencies, because if stuff goes left, you know, at least, even if the agency doesn't have you back, you know that you will find another family and you won't have to go home. And you also need to come with the mindset of, oh, I'm going on this adventure or this journey to take something away from it. Like, whether it's you growing as a person, whether you just getting to experience a different culture and just getting away from home, like out of your comfort zone. Because if you're just coming with the mindset of, oh, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna miss home, then you'd rather just stay at home, because you're wasting your money, you're wasting your parents' money, and you're wasting those families' money. So just don't do that. Let you guys enjoy, and we will be back in more videos, guys. I love you.
Could you catch my vibe if I could match your